Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video. So as we all know, there are always so many new makeup releases coming out every single week. I mean, every single day, to be honest. There are just new collections, new products. And while it can be fun, I feel like it can also be really overwhelming. And honestly, there are so many older products in my collection that I still love. And every single time I use them, I just think the quality is amazing. They're so good. So today I thought it'd be fun to do a video on makeup products that have stood the test of time. I think this was a YouTube tag at one point, I want to say years ago, but I thought it'd be fun to bring it back, chat about some older products that are still good. The thing about older makeup is that as I was going through my collection, I have products that I have loved for years and years, but a lot of them have been discontinued. So today I specifically wanted to focus on makeup products that have stood the test of time that are still available. So I've been using some of these products for over 10 years. So I just thought it would be fun to go through them. I wrote them down. Let me see how many products I have. I have like 18 different products to talk about. I still have all of these in my collection. I still use all of them. So I thought it'd be fun to share them with you. If you film YouTube videos, or if not, just let me know in the comments, like, what are some of your favorite makeup products that have truly stood the test of time? Maybe you've been using them for over 10 years. Maybe it's been more like 5 to 8 years. And then I also have a few products that I think I've been using for like 4 to 5 years. But for me, that's still a long time just because there are always so many new releases. So let's jump into it. I'll start with my oldest favorites first. So I've been filming YouTube videos for a long time, like 10 years at this point, which is so crazy. I didn't upload super consistently the first few years, and I would film videos about everything like nail polish and fashion and makeup. But I actually have a makeup collection video on my channel from like, I don't know, 2011, I want to say, maybe a little bit later, right around there. And it's so crazy because I was watching it the other day just to see which makeup products were in my collection. And I remember so many of those products. But there were actually products in my collection that I still use. And I've repurchased them at this point. I don't have the exact ones, but I had one of the NYX matte lipsticks in there. I love the NYX matte lipsticks. Like, I can vividly remember talking about them on my YouTube channel throughout the years, loving different colors. I still have like 3 of them in my collection. And I think the formula is so good. It's a very lightweight, smooth formula, but it's definitely a matte formula. A lot of matte lipsticks are so dry, really uncomfortable. And these days I'm not into matte lipstick as much, but if I am to wear a matte lipstick, that's definitely a formula I reach for just because it's so comfortable. So that is a formula that has truly stood the test of time. I've repurchased it over and over throughout the years, and I'm glad to know they still make it because it is one of my favorites. Another product that I had in my collection 10 years ago were the Buxom lip glosses. I had purchased a set of like super mini glosses. They were so tiny, like this small, and I just fell in love with the formula, and I still love the formula to this day. In fact, I feel like I've been using it more often over the past year just because I'm so into glossy lips compared to matte lips. They are the best. They're just comfortable, they're smooth, they have such a good shade range, and what I love about Buxom is that during the holiday season, they always have like mini holiday sets. Their lip glosses last a long time, so you can purchase one of those sets and have a bunch of different colors to choose from, and I just think they're so good. If I had to guess, I would have never guessed that I tried them like 10 years ago. I would have said maybe like 5 years ago, but those, again, have truly stood the test of time because I've loved that formula so much for a decade at this point, which is crazy. When I was first getting into makeup and high-end makeup, Urban Decay was definitely one of my favorite brands. I just fell in love with so many of their products. And it's funny because as I was watching like that older makeup collection video, a lot of those products just don't exist anymore. And it made me miss like the old school Urban Decay brand. But one product that has stood the test of time is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I still use that all the time. It's such a good eyeshadow primer. It used to come in different packaging. Remember the old school packaging? I'll find a picture and put it on the screen. It had such a weird shape, and I remember people would like cut it open because there was so much product in there even after you felt like it was gone. So later they switched to like the squeeze tube packaging, which ensured that you were able to get more product out. But I remember using that and loving it. I still use it all the time. It's definitely still one of my favorite eyeshadow primers. Another Urban Decay product, again, that has really stood the test of time, I won't keep saying that, you guys get the point, is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils. I still enjoy those so much. I have a bunch of them, and there are other formulas that I like at this point, but I feel like Urban Decay has the best selection out of pretty much any brand when it comes to pencil liners. They have matte liners, they have shimmer liners, they're not afraid to do color color with their eyeliners. They have really bold shades, more subtle shades, and I feel like no matter what you're looking for in an eyeliner, Urban Decay will have a color for you. They're also really smooth and super creamy. Lately, I've been using them to line my upper lash line and then just create a more subtle wing. I feel like it's a little bit less harsh than liquid liner. I do still wear liquid liner, I have it on today, but I do feel like the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on Eye pencils will always be a staple in my collection. I just love them. And again, I just love that they have such a wide selection of colors, because even when I find another brand that I love, like NYX or LA Girl, they might like have 10 or 12 shades compared to Urban Decay, which has like the entire everything you could think of. The last product that I have loved for over 10 years is just like a line of products, and that would be the Naked palettes. I know a lot of people are over the Naked palettes, but I am not. I still love them. I get excited when they release them. I don't have my original Naked palette at this point, or actually Naked 1, 2, or 3. I discontinued those years ago because they did expire. They got pretty old and they just weren't performing as well as they used to. But the Naked palette line as a whole is still one of my favorites. Again, I know a lot of people are over it, but that is a line that I still really enjoy. So not one specific product, but more like a line of products. Moving on to products that I've loved for like 6 to 8 years. 6 to 8 years is not as long as 10 years, but for me that's still a really long time because I didn't start getting into makeup, like really loving makeup, until about 10 years ago. So 6 to 8 years ago, I feel like is a long time to enjoy products and continuously repurchase them. So I think ColourPop released their Super Shock Shadows back in 2014. So that would have been, I guess, almost 8 years ago at this point. And I think that I tried them shortly after they were released and I just loved them. They were so, so good. It started my ColourPop obsession. From like 2014 to 2016, maybe even longer, I filmed so many ColourPop related videos. I would review the products, the collections, do lip swatches, and I do still enjoy ColourPop. I feel like my love for them has died down a little bit because at this point they just release so much, but the Super Shock Shadows are still like my favorite ColourPop product. I enjoy them so much. I was so excited when they re-released like original shades and then came out with a few new shades like last week. I am so glad they're still making them because I enjoy them so much. I just think they're the best. So the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows and the ColourPop Lippie Sticks. I don't use the ColourPop Lippie Sticks as much as the Super Shock Shadows, but I still love them. I still think they work so well. And again, I'm glad they haven't discontinued those yet. I feel like out of the two, they'll probably discontinue the Lippie Sticks first just because they have so many different lipstick options. But I still like the original Lippie Stick formula better than their bullet lipsticks, better than their liquid lipsticks. I think they just feel nice on the lips. They have really beautiful colors, and I still wear them. I still have a good amount of those in my collection. At some point in those 6 to 8 years, I tried the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I don't know exactly when this was released. I feel like it was around then, but I still love this product so much. I still use it. I don't use it every single day at this point, but it's such a nice, refreshing spray that just hydrates your skin before you apply makeup. I think it is the perfect product if you do your skincare and then you wait a few hours and do your makeup later on in the day because it just refreshes your skin. It is so hydrating. I think it makes a difference. I really do feel like it preps my skin so well for makeup. I think you fall into like one of two categories. Either you love it and you think it works really well, or you think it's just like overpriced water in a spray bottle. I could totally see that, but there's just something special about it. I love it. I've repurchased it so many times throughout the years. I also discovered the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer around the same time. Did I? Or maybe that was a little bit later on. I can't remember when these products came out. Like some people are so good at dates and they'll be like, oh yeah, 2016, I did this and these products were released. My brain does not work like that. So I might be a little bit off on some of these dates, but the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer is so good. I still love that so much. It's just such a watery primer that again hydrates your skin so well before you go in with makeup. I will say that I've found some good alternatives over the years that aren't as expensive, but I still have that in my collection. I still use it all the time, especially during the winter. The Becca highlighters have stood the test of time for me for sure. I know they've been discontinued at this point, unfortunately, with the exception of the shade Champagne Pop, but that highlighter formula has always been my favorite. Ever since I tried it for the first time years and years ago, I still love it. I still wear them all the time. So that is definitely one of my favorites. I guess at this point I only have two. I have Champagne Pop and Opal. Champagne Pop is still available for sale, but once Opal expires, I'll be so sad because I just haven't found anything that comes close. I mean, that's not true. I've found products that come close, but nothing that's as good as the Becca highlighters or products that I like better. So that is definitely one of my favorites. The Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I was a little bit late to the game with these. So Modern Renaissance was so big. Everybody was talking about it. It just blew up. And then I finally tried it out and I also fell in love with the formula. And then I started trying other ABH palettes. And I do still love my ABH palettes. I will say I haven't worn them in a while. I feel like mine are pretty old. I haven't actually used them to know for sure if they're expired, if they're still good. And I probably should do that because I need to do an eyeshadow palette declutter soon. My palette collection is just a little bit too big right now. But kind of like the same case with the Urban Decay Naked palettes, when Anastasia Beverly Hills would release a palette, I would get so excited. And I feel like it's been a long time since they've released a palette in that format. I know they did the Primrose palette during the holiday season, and that actually got really good reviews, a lot of hype. So I'm kind of curious to see what they do in 2022. If they were to release another eyeshadow palette in like their standard format, I would probably purchase it just because I've had such good luck with their palettes over the years. So that is definitely one of my tried and true favorites. At some point within those years, I tried 2 powders that I still use. The first one is the Essence All About Matte powder. I actually think I tried Essence for the first time like 6 or 7 years ago, and they are still one of my favorite brands, definitely more so at this point. And I feel like they're gaining popularity, which I love because they're one of the brands that truly keeps it affordable. A lot of their products are under $10, even under $5. So I definitely appreciate that. But the Essence All About Matte powder is still one of my favorites. I usually go through an entire powder every single summer just because it is the most mattifying powder that I've tried. It's super inexpensive. It's like $4. So I love using it as a touch-up powder, but also to set my makeup into place. I also tried IT Cosmetics years ago. I remember I really liked their CC cream, and I also liked the Bye Bye Pores pressed powder. I also liked the loose version. I would kind of go back and forth, and honestly, my opinion would kind of flip back and forth as to whether or not it was a necessity or I could find a replacement for it. It's so funny to me because I distinctly remember like certain points in time where I loved the powder and then I didn't love it. I actually have it in my makeup collection right now and I do enjoy it. I just kind of use it as like an all-over finishing powder just to make my skin look a little bit more smooth. So I've had that powder in my collection like on and off for years and years, but I think at this point it is a tried and true favorite because why else would I still be trying it at this point in 2022? The Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray has been a favorite for years and years. It's still like my favorite setting spray. I don't use it every single day. I usually use it on special occasions and I'll use it on someone else if I'm doing their makeup. I don't do makeup, like I'm not a professional makeup artist, but I'll do like my sister's makeup for her wedding, or if my cousins have a dance. I did my sister's makeup for her wedding. It was so hot. It was like 95 degrees. Everyone was just like melting, and her makeup looked flawless all day long because I like doused her face in that Urban Decay setting spray. And it's funny because I'll use it on me. I know that it works, but when I use it on someone else and they are just amazed by the fact that their makeup looks good all day long, I just love it because I feel like it just reinforces the fact that it is the best setting spray. So that is definitely one that I had to mention in today's video. The last products I wanted to mention are things that I've loved for like 4 to 5 years. So, I mean, not quite as long as like 10 years, obviously, but again, I feel like 4 to 5 years is a really long time because I get the chance to try out so many makeup products. I'm always finding really good options, but these are tried and true favorites that I've had in my collection for a while. So what did I write down? The first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. Now I will say I don't use that as much, but I do still love that brow pencil. I just have a lot of brow pencils that I like at this point, but that is one that I enjoy. I actually purchased it during the holiday season. There were a couple of different sets that came with the Brow Wiz and then other brow products from ABH, and I purchased them because they were a really good deal in terms of value, and I know the Brow Wiz is just like a reliable product. And then I just have 2 mascaras to share with you. The first one is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. I didn't even know that I had been loving this for so long, and then I think I saw a video from, I want to say like 2017 where I was talking about this as like a yearly favorite, and I still love the Lash Princess. I think it does such a great job at lengthening your lashes, and they have a bunch of different versions, so I've enjoyed a lot of the other versions throughout the years, but the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara is definitely still a favorite of mine. I think it works so well. And then I think the same year I discovered the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. That is one high-end mascara that I have continuously repurchased just because it does work so well. It makes your lashes so thick and so voluminous to the point where they look clumpy, but I like it. I don't care because they just look so dramatic and so good. And I feel like that one layers so well. Like you can build up to the intensity, or you can build up the intensity to the point where it's like almost a little bit too much, but I feel like it's hard to get there with other mascaras. So that one typically goes on sale during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, and usually I'll grab one and just like keep it in my drawer for the year and then break it out at some point, but I still love that. It's definitely one of my favorites. Honestly, I'm sure that I'm missing other products that I have loved for years and years, but these are the ones that just kind of came to mind when I was thinking about filming this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I always love talking about older makeup products, older makeup releases. I think it's so much fun to kind of look back and see what was popular then and see what's popular now. But these are definitely products that I own, that I still enjoy and use all the time. So let me know in the comment section below which products have stood the test of time in your collection. What are your tried and true older favorites? I would love to know. I think it would be so much fun to read the comments. So thanks again for watching today's video. I'll see you guys very soon with a new one. Bye.